Welcome nerds, this is AiHEADHUNTER and this time I will show you how to beat ultralisks in late game PvZ. I know that ultralisks are usually not the choice because 99% zergs chooses Broodlord Infestor, but still there might be few people out there who wonder how to beat the must-link Infestor Banelink ultralisk composition. So the game has already started and we can already see that I wasn't playing the first 16 seconds in the game, so this will get really interesting. I will play from behind the whole game, and I think this is good for me since this is only a practice game, because the harder the practice game is, the easier the real game when you need to win in tournaments or something, the easier it is. So 16 seconds passed. That's really a lot. Maybe some of you think it's not a lot, but it is, because all of your timings are a little bit shifted. The zerg has more drones and so on. So what I has chosen from the beginning is different opening and different approach to this game. I was thinking that, well, I try to do something upsetting, something surprising, and I'm gonna make my gateway in my base first. I'm not gonna fast expand right away, and this is built similar to what I saw OGS Inca was doing in this one game against Symbol, and it was working really well for him because he chrono boosted out 3 zealots first, then he made an Nexus, and then made a few sentries. You can, let's say, you can abuse the current metagame of PvZ because no zergs are playing gas before expand. So there won't be any speed links on the map. Therefore, you don't need to free-gate expand like we used to do 2 years ago, but you can easily one-gate expand, really greedy of 1 zealot, 1 stalker, or 1 zealot, 1 sentry, and you can be safe. I wouldn't recommend you to play this regularly, but let's say from time to time, it might be useful to have a different build in your sleeve. So I scouted my opponent. His expand was already up. I'm gonna block his third expansion with a probe, and in meantime I'm gonna chrono boost few zealots. Unfortunately, he was able to scout it, but that's no surprise. It's just an overlord. And he will see that I'm not fast expanding. He will probably check my gas, and he will be wondering what's up, what's this build about. So most definitely he won't be making faster base, and he will make some links. Unfortunately, because I was 16 seconds behind, the freeze chrono boosted zealots won't be there in time. I think by the time I reach his base, he will already be prepared with let's say enough links for defense. So this will not work out for me. But in standard game, when you start playing as the game starts, I think you might be able to do some damage or to force many links and to get ahead in your economy just for a few seconds before his injects kick out. So I'm killing a few links, and as we see that there are just too many, and the couple of zealots are doomed, and I will be making a Nexus very soon. You can check the income tab, and the amount of workers was equal by the time I was making my expansion. So maybe if I didn't miss the 16 seconds, I would be ahead a little bit. Right now I'm making Forge, second gateway, and chrono boosted sentries. If you do 1 gate expand, don't chrono boost out your warp gate. You don't need as early a warp gate as possible. You need to chrono boost out units from your gateway. So chrono boost sentries and let the warp gate finish by the natural speed, by the standard speed. one cannon for defense because I have no way to scout what he's doing. I know he's not fast expanding on his third, but I can't know for sure if there is a Baneling Nest or something else. So sentries and one cannon to be safe. Gonna boost out few probes, and I need to think about my next move. There are basically three options. One option is to make early robo for observer. Second option is to make hallucination, and third option is the risky one, but I think it might be the best one in this current meta game, is to make a secondary push with a few units, with like 2 zealots, 6-7 sentries and probe, and that might be a very good push in the current meta game, where zergs are used to only drone the first 8 to 10 minutes in the game, or 8 to 9. But unfortunately, the timing for me in this game is already shifted, because everything I do is a little bit late. So I have a nice army to make a fake push, to go across the map and make a fake pylon underneath his ramp, and then just back off to force him stop droning. But I just cannot do it because I feel like it's already too late, and I might get surrounded and lose all my sentries. So I send my units out of the map just a little bit to reach Xelnaga Tower, but I think it's not wise to proceed because it's already too late. Well, I'm heading to his base, so I'm not quite sure what I'm about to do. And yes, I saw his army, it's already too big, and now I'm gonna pray to God so he doesn't have many speed links to surround my sentries. And he doesn't. He had only roaches, so that's pretty good because I can escape. Right now I'm researching hallucination because I need to scout eventually. The push is good for, checking out what the zerg is doing, but you need to scout his main if there is fast spire, for example. I have a good amount of sentries that will be good for defense, any ground attack. I'm opening my additional gateways, making a robo, and of course +1 attack. In the meantime, I'm trying to make some probes, but we can check income dump, and I'm still late. I'm still behind. Let's say behind. But 10 workers behind, it's not so bad. It's really not so bad. Now it's 13. But in this time of the game, zerg usually, have full saturation on 3 bases and so on. But it shows that he's a little bit afraid of what's coming of this 2 base, not fast expanding Protoss. So first hallucination on the map. Phoenix gonna fly over his main and his natural expansion, and I need to think about my next move. The 2 base Olen wouldn't be so smart, and I think the better choice is to expand here. And I see he already have an infestation pit, so any 2 base timing with heavy sentry composition would probably fail against Chain Fungal. But it can be still useful in defending 3 bases. To defend 3 bases on Antigua, it's a little bit harder, I would say. I even prefer defending 3 bases on Daybreak, because on Daybreak there are some chokes, some cliffs you can use, but on Antigua you are forced to defend the open field between your 2 bases, so you don't have any advantage on the map, any chokes to use. Well, let's say there are two ways to get to this position, so maybe it's a choke, but it's really wide, so not really. But mass sentries, mass force field will help against that. So my next move, 3rd base and Colossi. Colossi are good practically against any ground army from zerg, but mostly focusing infestors really useful. So that is what I'm gonna do. He's trying to poke a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty safe, even though I'm 60 supply behind. But I'm quite sure that with that many force field, he won't be able to make some significant damage. I need need to send more hallucination from time to time. Need to regularly check his composition, check his tech, and so on. The Colossus moved quite dangerous way. I recommend you to shift your rally points through your natural. If the robo is on the side that the units coming from the robo, well, the Colossus coming out is going on different direction, is going from the cliff because it might get dangerous. He might get caught out of position. So let's check the income tab. Zerg is obviously already on ideal saturation, 80 drones. And I'm on 74, and I will make a few additional probes, so that's a really high economy for me also. I'm currently boosting out my another upgrade, third level damage, but he has already hive out, and this is a very hard situation for me. I think if I start the game without missing 16 seconds, I could make some Colossus timing before Broodlords. But I'm not trying to do this in this situation, and I will just take up to Mothership and so on. But my opponent doesn't know it, and I think in this situation he's reacting quite smart. Because what's the problem of taking Broodlords is that it takes really a lot of time, and when Protoss weren't fast expanding and was making Sentry expand, that means he has a really a high amount of force fields. The Colossus timing with so many force fields could be pretty good, and Ultralisks mess up the timing because they are way faster than Broodlords, and of course they can easily break any force field wall. So making Ultralisk Cavern in this situation, in this game, is not so bad. Usually Ultralisk are not so good, but in this situation I can see the point of my opponent. I can see that he reacts to what he sees, and he expected me to make some heavy Colossus push before Broodlord. So by the choice of Ultralisks, he would completely destroy my Colossus timing. He would own it, and I wouldn't be able to escape because all the Zerg units are faster, and I would lose the game instantly. But I was able to scout few Ultralisks, and in this situation that's good for me because I didn't make the Colossus push. I have all my army, and I just need to add few good units against Ultralisk Banelings, and those are Archons. I would say that Archons are way better than Robo units against this composition. You might think that, oh, you need Immortals against Ultralisks because they deal 50 damage. Yes, Immortals are good if you focus the Ultralisks, but Archons are way better because they destroy Banelings, Zerlings, and Ultralisks. And here we go, big fight. I used my hallucinated Archons. They buffered a lot of damage, but still the Zerg army fought their way through and completely destroy my so-called dead ball. No force fields were about to stop this. Sentries all died, and I have very few units, but he lost all his links, and Ultralisks are good only if they are mixed with links. In ZVP, ZVT, always you need to mix your Ultralisks with links, because Ultralisks alone are really weak. You can just target them and focus them, and one Immortal, one Colossus were able to kill like 3 Ultralisks, and defensive Warpin of Zealots defended against reinforcements links. So right now I'm surviving, and I will rely on my high bank. I knew that I wasn't maxed out, and yet I had 3000 minerals, but you know what I was supposed to do with 3000 minerals and no gas. I was limited by the gas. I thought I needed Mothership and so on against Broodlords, and I didn't think I need Zealots against Infestor Broodlord. But right now I can beautifully use my banked minerals to make static defense, more static defense against the run-bys. So that means more cannons at my upcoming expansions and Zealots. A lot of zealots, always good against Link Ultra. It's not exactly the counter, but they hold the front line and they are useful. You need to mix them up with another units, but yeah, zealots are useful. And I'm doing another Archons, and this will be very hard fight. He's on 200 supply and has a lot of banelings. He can detonate all my zealots. I need to approach this really smart, and there's Money Vortex. I would say the Vortex who saved my life in this game, because I was able to Vortex some infestors and a lot of banelings, so they won't splash damage my zealots. I will put few Archons in the Vortex, and all the banelings will detonate instantly as spawning out from the Vortex. Now some shift focusing with Immortals to chase out the ultralisks, and I again survived despite of the food deficiency. So that Vortex really saved my life and few Archons in it. And we can already see that 200 supply from Zerg, which doesn't have Broodlord Infestor, is just not strong. Even though that Ultralisk are tier 3 units, they are just not so strong against Protoss army if you have the time to prepare. If you have time to prepare to warp additional Zealots and Archons, then Ultralisks are bad. Ultralisks are only good if Protoss is going to make Colossus timing before Broodlords, and you mess up with the timing in a way that you make Ultralisks. That's really useful, and we already saw it in GSL. I think it was Symbol defeating Farting or something. But right now I think my Zerg opponent needs to switch. He's making additional Ultralisks, and this definitely won't work. I feel pretty comfortable in this game. I'm using my War Prism to kill his side expansions, but I must not overcommit to my attack, because once you overcommit against a Link Ultra Infestor, you are dead. You can't escape. They are very mobile, very fast, and I would say if there is a rule in fighting Ultralisks, that's rather never attack. Rather always only defend and harass. Harass with your War Prism, but never attack. Only go attack if you're sure you're gonna win. But if you're not sure, if you don't have a strong 200 supply army and some bank, then don't attack, because you might lose. So I was able to take down the expansion on the right, but his fort is very well defended by mass crawlers. I need to warp more zealots to be able to take this down. I'm in a quite good position. Storm is not ready. I cannot storm the banelings, and this is very unfortunate, but I can feedback the infestor, and it will be enough along with the good vortex on the banelings. Again, very important vortex on the banelings, because without it, who knows how this might play out. But the vortex on the banelings again saved this battle for me, and some feedbacks on the infestors, and I will be able to completely crush this army and to get some supply advantage along with my bank, and I feel that this game is mine after all. I immediately expand in the middle because I feel in superior position, and I will harass his 5th in the middle from the high ground. And in meantime, of course, I need to keep the harass going on. I need to keep his attention split and try to make some economical damage. And we can already see that his bank is really low. He doesn't have basically any bank, because he's still forced to defend his economy and replenish his army and so on. And he's not able to bank a good amount of resources to make a Broodlord switch. I think he could have made Broodlord switch like after the first unsuccessful attack of Ultralisks, but he didn't, and that was crucial mistake. He lost his 5th, and in meantime, as I'm defending the high ground, he will lose his fort because the crawlers are dead, and we can see on minimap that I have zealots attacking his fort, and right now he has no army, no support for the infestor, and I will focus the infestor, and even with neural parasite, when there are no units, you can focus the infestors and vortex, and there's the GG. So the game was ultimately mine, and I think we should sum it up, because there were few nuances that are not standard. The first there were the different opening from me. I was behind, so I wasn't able to make it work, but I will speed this up a little bit. I made a free zealots, but he was able to scout, so he was able to make enough links and to easily defend it. There my secondary attack was not even threatening. I was just making my way to the Xelnaga tower with a few sentries, and he already had roaches out, so no danger from him. He gained economical advantage. I was really behind. My third expansion was a little bit of desperate move, because I wasn't able to make any additional 2 base push. My only option was to make third, but then he expected me to go 3 base all in, hit timing before Broodlords, and he wanted to mess it up by making ultralisks, but I didn't make the push. I scouted his ultralisk and I countered it with quite a good composition, mixing Archons in my dead ball, using hallucination while I had the sentries, and then War Prism harass with zealots, obviously, and some important vortexes. Usually I think when you play, like, let's say, equal game with the zerg, like no one is really behind or ahead, you don't need mothership against ultralisks. You don't. It's better to invest your gas in more Archons, maybe some Storm. Of course, some feedbacks are always useful, but you don't need mothership. But as you can see right now, I clicked the mothership before I was really sure what's going on. So when the mothership was there, it helped me a lot. It helped me to vortexing banelings or a few infestors also. This was really important attack. Few hallucinations in the front, and banelings owning everything. Fungals. The dead ball is basically evaporating, but still he lost all his small units, the links and banelings, and ultralisks alone are just not so good, because you see reinforcement immortal, some warping zealots, and I will be able to clean 4 ultralisks and few roaches and few infested terrains just by 2 cannons, 1 immortal, 1 colossus, and then another defensive warping. So that was really important moment in this game. So this is it. Thank you for watching.